Let me just get myself together. Is there something else I need? Oh, let me take my socks off and this knee brace. All right, I think that's it. Okay, good morning. My name is Misha, aka Pieces of Meesh, and this is going to be a midweek reset yoga practice, yoga with Meesh. And today we're going to do probably like some full body things. So we'll focus on our shoulders, lower back, hips. We'll do all the things. We'll move through different parts of our body today during this time here together. Not sure how long we'll be here. Not longer than an hour because I have to eat lunch. I'm starving. But yeah. So before we get started, I do want to say that everything that I say is a suggestion. Please listen to your body before you listen to me. And please like the video if you're going to be here. You know what I mean? And yeah, we're going to take it slow, take it easy like we usually do. So yeah, listen to your body before you listen to me. And we are going to start today's practice in a comfortable seat. So whatever that looks like for you, that can look like crisscross applesauce. Or I'm sorry, let me slow down. We're going to start today's practice in whatever position feels comfortable for you. That look like crisscross applesauce in a seat. That can look like lying on your back. That can look like child's pose. So find a position that works for you to hold for a couple of minutes because we're going to settle into the space, catch our breath, something I need to do myself, and get in tune with our body before we start moving in our practice today, okay? All right. Make sure you have your water. And let's get into it. All right, so finding your comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you, or comfortable position, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's laying down, on your back, on your stomach, just find that comfortable position. And if it feels safe for you, I invite you to close your eyes gently. And before we invite movement into our practice today, we're going to take some time to connect with our breath, with our breathing. And we'll do a 4-part breath, and I'll count that out for us. So what that will look like is on your inhale, you'll inhale for 4, hold for 4, and then release for 4, okay? So when you're ready, let's take an inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and release, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and release, 2, 3, 4. And let's go ahead and do that one more time as we inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and release, 2, 3, 4. Now, I invite you to bring your breath back to your regular breathing cycle as you inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. And if exhaling out of your nose doesn't feel good for you, if you have a stuffy nose, you can always exhale out of your mouth, but I would encourage you for today's practice to inhale through your nose and to exhale out of your nose. So as you bring your breath to your regular breathing cycle, as you inhale and exhale, I invite you to bring your awareness to your forehead, the space between your eyebrows. And as you inhale and exhale, I invite you to notice If you may be holding any tension in your eyebrows. And if your eyes are still open at this time, maybe you close them, only if it's safe. Go ahead and close your eyes or find a gentle gaze out ahead of you. And as you inhale and exhale, finding softness in your forehead, softness in your eyebrows. Continue to inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, on your next exhale, I invite you to drop your awareness down to your mouth. Noticing if you may be clenching your teeth. Noticing if your jaw is clenched, or noticing if your tongue is at the roof of your mouth. And maybe on your next exhale, you exhale, soften your jaw and clench your teeth. Let your tongue rest at the base of your mouth as you inhale and exhale. And as you continue to inhale and exhale, I invite you to bring your awareness to your whole face. And noticing if on your exhale you can soften completely in your face, relaxing your cheeks as you inhale and exhale. And as you inhale and exhale, I invite you to drop your awareness down to your shoulders. If you're sitting up, maybe on your next exhale, you allow your shoulders to soften down around your back. If you're laying down, maybe on your exhale, you notice your shoulders soften and come back down to your mat. And if you're in your child's pose, maybe you notice your shoulders on your exhale soften away from your ears. Just noticing as you inhale and exhale. Continuing to breathe as you inhale through your nose and release from your nose. I invite you to drop your awareness down to your chest, your heart center. And I invite you to take time to notice how your heart feels. Noticing anything that you may be carrying with you to your practice today. And maybe as you inhale and exhale, you notice the rise and fall of your chest. And on your next exhale, I invite you to drop your awareness down to your belly. And if you're laying on your back or if you're sitting, maybe you take one hand and place it on your belly and place one hand on your heart. And as you inhale and exhale, I invite you to notice how your belly expands on your inhale and contracts on your exhale. How your belly expands and then contracts. And this time, when we breathe, we'll inhale through our nose and let our belly and our chest fill up really big. And we'll release and exhale out of our mouth, letting it all out like we're trying to bring our belly button to touch our spine. And let's do that again. We'll inhale really big through your nose. And on your exhale, letting it all out of your mouth like you're bringing your belly button to touch your spine. And I'll invite you to continue your breathing at your regular breathing cycle. And with one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, I invite you at this moment to take a time to set an intention for your practice today. So I'll go ahead and give you a moment to do that, about 30 more seconds, and then we'll invite some gentle movement into our practice. So when you feel complete in your intention, I invite you to go ahead and drop your hands back down to your lap. And if you are in a child's pose, I invite you to come up, make your way to a comfortable seat slowly and safely. And if you're laying down, I invite you to come up and find a comfortable seat. So that can look like crisscross applesauce, that can look like legs straight out ahead of you. So whatever comfortable seat feels good for you, I invite you to find that now. And once we get there, on your next inhale, I invite you to gently inhale your shoulders up towards your ears. And on your exhale, you'll gently roll your shoulders down and around your back. Inhale your shoulders up towards your ears. And on your exhale, gently roll them down around your back. And I invite you to find this movement according to your own breath as you inhale up and exhale, roll your shoulders down around your back. Moving at your own pace. Remembering that softness we found in our face earlier. And when you're ready, if you haven't done so already, I invite you to find that movement in the opposite direction. So we'll inhale our shoulders up towards our ears, and on our exhale, we'll gently roll our shoulders down around our front body. Inhale our shoulders up, and then exhale, roll them down around your front. And I invite you to continue that movement according to your own breath. Remembering that softness in your face, relaxing your fingers and your toes, and breathing. And when you're ready, let's find stillness with our shoulders in a neutral position. And from here, we'll take our hands, drop them down to our side, palms facing up. We'll inhale, sweep our arms up overhead. And exhale, palms facing down, back down to the ground. Inhale, palms facing up, sweep your arms up overhead. And exhale, palms down back to the ground. Inhale, palms facing up. We'll sweep our arms up overhead, bring our palms to touch at the top. And on our exhale, we'll drop our right palm down to the mat. Inhale, reaching that left arm up towards the sky. And exhale, leaning over to reach the opposite side of the room. Chest open, finding a side body stretch, keeping our bottom of our body planted on the ground. Making sure you're breathing. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, we'll inhale that right arm back up to the sky to meet our left. And exhale, drop our left hand down to the mat. Inhale, reach that right arm up. And exhale, reaching over to the opposite side of the room, side body stretch. Remember to keep your chest open. And on your next inhale, we'll inhale that left hand back up to meet our right. And we'll exhale, drop that right arm down again and reach that left arm back over to the opposite side of the room. And from here, we'll find a sequence as we inhale our arm up, exhale our arm down, reach to the opposite side. Inhale both arms up. Exhale, one hand down, reaching to the opposite side. So I invite you to find that according to your own breath as you inhale up and exhale into your stretch. Good job, everybody. And when you're ready, we'll inhale, meet with both palms or both our hands in the sky, palms together. And then we'll exhale, forward fold any amount. Let your head hang heavy in your fold. Breathing in your fold, finding your inhale and your exhale. And on your next inhale, we'll inhale and slowly walk your hands back up to meet your body, sitting in an upright position. And from here, we're going to find our first twist of our practice today. So we're going to inhale our arms up overhead, and on our exhale, we'll turn to our right side, letting our left palm rest outside of our right thigh and letting our right hand come beside us or behind us. However deep we want to go into our twist today, that's where we'll put our right hand. And once we find where we want our hands, let's take an inhale together, and we'll exhale into our twist, looking over your back shoulder. And if you find yourself sinking in your twist, maybe you bring your right hand a little closer to your body, shoulders away from your ear, and breathing here, remembering that softness in our face, softness in our fingers and toes. And when you're ready, moving only your head, on your next exhale, you'll take your head and exhale to look over your front shoulder. And when you're ready, moving only your head, we'll exhale to look back over that back shoulder. And on your next inhale, we'll come out of our twist as we inhale our arms up overhead, coming back to the front, and exhale, forward fold any amount. Let your head hang heavy in your fold. And on your next inhale, we'll inhale, slowly walk our hands back up to meet our body, and we'll find our twist on the opposite side. So when you're ready, let's inhale our arms up overhead. And on our exhale, we'll exhale, bring our right arm to the outside of our left thigh, our left hand beside or behind us, however deep we want to go in our twist today. We'll inhale, sitting straight up, and exhale into our twist, looking over that back shoulder. Good job, everybody. Like the video. Remembering that softness in our face as we inhale and exhale. And on your next exhale, moving only your head, we'll exhale to look over our front shoulder. And on your next exhale, moving only your head, let's exhale to look back over that back shoulder. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, we'll inhale, sweep our arms back up overhead, and exhale, forward fold any amount. Let your head hang heavy in your fold. And on your next inhale, we'll inhale, slowly walk your hands back up to meet your body to an upright position. And now we're going to slowly make our way to hands and knees. Okay? So safely and slowly, moving with intention. Let's find hands and knees. So once we get to hands and knees, we want to make sure our wrist is in line with our elbows, in line with our shoulders, and our knees are in line with our hips. And from here, we're going to find some cat-cows. So you can come to the tops of your feet, or you can curl your toes under, whatever feels good for you. And if you're having some wrist irritation, you can ball your fist up and land on the flat part of your fist. So however you're feeling today, do you, okay? So we're gonna find some cat-cows. As we inhale, open up our chest, poke our tail out, raise our chin, and then exhale, curling your back in. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale, open up your chest, poke your tail out, pushing away from your mat. And exhale, curling your back, tucking your pelvis in, letting your head hang heavy. And I invite you to find that movement according to your own breath. As you inhale, open up, and exhale, curl your back. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness in tabletop. And if you're on the tops of your feet, I invite you to curl your toes under. And on our next inhale, we're going to inhale and lift ourselves up off the ground, just letting our knees hover over our mat. And then exhale, release your knees back down. And let's do that again. We'll inhale, pushing ourselves up, just letting our knees hover. And exhale, drop our knees back down. And let's do that one more time, and we'll hold it for 3 full breaths, okay? So we'll inhale, let our knees hover. And exhale, drop your knees down. Bring your big toes together to touch, knees as wide as the mat, extending your palms out ahead of you. And on your exhale, exhale, sinking back into your child's pose. Bringing your forehead to the mat, or you can stack your fists on top of one another if you want your child's pose to be a little more restorative. But let's find our child's pose. And remember to breathe, finding your inhale and your exhale. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, we'll inhale, push back up into our tabletop. Ooh, did y'all hear my knees crack? And then we'll find our cat-cow again. finding fluidity in our spine as we move through our cat-cow. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness in our cat-cow, and we're going to prepare for our first downward dog of our practice. So letting our palms come out a little bit more, stepping our legs back. If you're on the tops of your feet, I invite you to curl your toes under. And on your next inhale, we'll inhale your tail slowly up towards the sky. And exhale, allow your heels to come towards your mat. They don't have to touch your mat. And allow your head to hang heavy in your down dog. And let's pedal out our dog. And maybe you look over under each underarm as you pedal out your dog. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness in our dog and slowly walk our feet to meet our hands, forward fold. And from our forward fold, we'll inhale, slide our hands up our shins, halfway lift, shoulders away from our ears. And exhale, back into our forward fold. And in your forward fold, finding a bend in your knees, letting your head and shoulders hang heavy. You can find a gentle sway in your fold from side to side. You can bring each hand to your opposite elbow and hold and sway. So whatever feels good for you right now in your forward fold, I invite you to give that to yourself. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness in our forward fold. Finding a generous bend in your knees, we'll inhale, sweep our arms up overhead, coming to a stand. And exhale, drop our arms down beside us. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, bring your palms to touch at the top. And exhale, forward fold. Sliding our hands up our shins, inhale, halfway lift, shoulders away from your ears. And exhale, forward fold, bringing your hands to touch the mat, stepping one foot back, and then your next foot back, plank pose. And from here, we'll drop our knees, chest, chin to the mat, and inhale, cobra. Exhale, coming back down to the ground. We'll curl our toes under, and inhale, push back up into our down dog. Good job, everybody. You got it. Pedaling out your dog, letting your head hang heavy. And we'll go ahead and walk our feet to our hands. Forward fold. Inhale, sliding our hands up our shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping our arms up overhead, coming to a stand. Exhale, dropping our hands back down. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, palms together. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sliding our hands up our shins, shoulders away from our ears. And exhale, bring our hands back down to the mat, stepping one foot back and then the opposite foot back, finding our plank. And exhale, dropping our knees, chest, chin to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come back down to the ground. Curling our toes under. Inhale, pushing back up into our down dog. Pedaling out your dog. And when you're ready, we'll walk our feet to meet our hands. Forward fold. Inhale, sliding our hands up our chins, shoulders away from our ears. Halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. And let's find a generous bend in our knees as we inhale, sweep our arms up overhead. And exhale, drop our arms down to our sides. Good job, everybody. So finding our mountain pose. Feet about hip width apart. Pelvis tucked in. Shoulders back, chest open. Let's inhale our arms up overhead. Bring our fingers to interlace at the top with our pointer finger to the sky. Making sure our shoulders are not scrunched to our ears, but finding space between our ears and our shoulders. And we'll inhale, reach up tall, and exhale, bending to the right. Inhale to center, and exhale, bend to the opposite side. Inhale to center, and exhale, baby back bend. Inhale to center, and exhale, we'll drop our hands back down to our side. Good job. So if you have blocks, this will be a good time to get them ready, get prepared. I'm going to get a sip of water. But we're going to come to face the short edge of your mat. So walking to the back of your mat, we're going to find a warrior one. So taking our right foot and bringing it to about a 45-degree angle, and then stepping that left leg out ahead of us, finding a bend in our knee, but making sure we're not bending over our ankle, and also making sure our knee is not collapsing in. And if it does that, bring your foot closer to your body. But finding your footing and allowing your pelvis, your hips to be turned in the same direction as your front leg, your bent leg. Okay, pelvis tucked in. And you'll take our arms and inhale, arms up overhead, warrior one. Holding and breathing here. Because you're a warrior. You a baddie. And don't nobody do it like you. And on our next exhale, we'll exhale, take our hands, bring them behind our back, interlacing our fingers and opening up our chest. Breathing, remembering that softness in our face. And on your exhale, you'll exhale coming forward, keeping that your arms interlaced behind you, making sure your right knee does not go over your ankle or toes, or your front knee. And on your next inhale, we're going to inhale, release our arms and swoop them back up to our warrior one. And then we'll turn that back foot, lift that back heel up off the ground. Sweep our arms down to the ground. Drop that back knee down. Okay. And then we'll walk our hands back and extend our left foot, runner's lunge. And then walk our hands forward, finding another lunge. So this is when you can use your blocks if you need that support. Walking your hands back, toes flexed towards your body, keeping your back straight. And then walking your hands forward, allowing your pelvis to push forward, drop and push forward. And I invite you to find this according to your own breath. using your blocks for support if you need them. Good job. And when you feel complete in that, but only when you feel complete, we'll meet back in our child's pose. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, we'll push back up into our tabletop. Curling your toes under, and we'll inhale, push back up into your down dog. And let's walk our feet to meet our hands. Forward fold. Inhale, sliding our hands up our shins, shoulders away from our ears, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Finding a generous bend in our knees, let's inhale, sweep our arms up overhead. And exhale, dropping our arms down. Coming into our mountain, feet hip width apart, pelvis tucked in, shoulders back, chest open. Slight raise in our chin. We'll inhale, sweep our arms up overhead, interlace our fingers at the top. Take an inhale together, and exhale, bend to our right. Inhale to center, exhale, bending to the opposite. Inhale to center, exhale, baby back bend. Inhale back to center, exhale, drop our arms down, and we'll prepare for our warrior one on the opposite side. So if you had your right leg back before, this time you'll bring your left leg back at about a 45-degree angle, and keeping that front leg, knee bent, making sure your knee's not collapsing into your center line, keeping a straight leg, and making sure you're not bending over your ankles and toes. But finding your footing and letting your hips come facing the front of your body. And from here, we'll go ahead and swoop our arms up overhead, warrior one. Holding here and breathing, remembering that softness in our face. And on your exhale, we'll exhale, drop our arms down, interlacing our fingers behind our back, opening up our chest as we lean back. And on our next exhale, we'll exhale, leaning forward, making sure that our right knee doesn't go over our ankle or toes. And also making sure we're not putting all of our weight on that front leg, but letting our weight be evenly distributed from our feet all the way up. And when you're ready, we're going to drop our hands back down and inhale, sweep our arms back up into our warrior one. And then we'll take that back foot, bring our heel up off the ground. Exhale, sweep our arms down, drop that back knee down to the ground. And then we'll walk our hands back, flexing our right toes to our body, runner's lunge. Inhale, walk our hands forward, letting our pelvis push forward and sink in. And you can use your blocks if you need that support. Exhale, walking your hands back to your runner's lunge. And then inhale, coming forward, pushing in through your hips. And I invite you to find this according to your own breath as you inhale and come back, and exhale and come forward. Moving according to your own breath at your own pace. Good job. And when you feel complete in that, I will meet you in a child's pose. And when you're ready, we'll inhale, coming up out of our child's pose. And then we'll slowly find our way to our backs. Once you get to your back, I invite you to lay with your knees bent, feet flat on the ground, arms in a T position. And from here, we'll find a gentle sway in our knees from side to side. And maybe you sync your breath with your movement. As you inhale your knees up to center, and exhale, drop your knees down to one side. Inhale your knees up to center, and exhale, drop your knees to the opposite side. So finding that gentle sway according to your own breath as you exhale to one side, inhale to center, and exhale to the opposite. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness with our knees in the center. And we'll bring our feet together and only moving your hips, take your hips and scooch them to one side of your mat, the right side or the left side, but scooch your hips to one side of your mat. And then you'll inhale both knees to your chest. And on your exhale, you'll drop your knees stacked on one another in the opposite direction of where you scooched your hips. So if you scooched your hips to the right side of your mat, let your knees fall to the left side. Finding a twist here. Your legs are stacked on top of one another. And if that doesn't work, find any adjustments you need in your twist that may feel better for you. And if you want a full body twist, you can take your head, inhale your head up, and exhale, look in the opposite direction of your knees. And remembering that softness we found in our face earlier, relaxing our fingers, relaxing our toes. And maybe we direct our breath to where we may feel any remaining tension in our bodies. So as you inhale, visualize a light going into your body, throughout your body, to the spaces where you may still be holding. And as that light reaches that spot, it expands. And on the exhale, it takes everything with it, all the darkness, everything that shouldn't be there, all the tension. And when you're ready, we'll inhale our head back to center. And then exhale your knees back to your chest. Take an inhale and exhale. Drop your feet back down to the ground, keeping your knees bent. And you can bring your hips back to the center of your mat and find a gentle sway again. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness with your knees in the center. Bringing your feet together, we'll take our hips and scooch them to the opposite side of our mat. So whatever side we didn't do before. And then on your next inhale, we'll inhale your knees to your chest. And exhale, drop your knees down in the opposite direction of that you moved your hips, finding a full body twist. And if you want more, you can inhale your head up and exhale your head to the opposite direction of your knees, making any adjustments you need to in your twist. And when you're ready, we're going to begin to come out of our twist. If your head is in the opposite direction, let's inhale our head up, looking front and center, and exhale, drop your head back down to your mat. Inhale, bring your knees to your chest, and exhale, drop your feet back down to the mat, keeping your knees bent. We'll find that gentle sway again. And at this time, we're about to find final resting pose, but I invite you to take a moment to find any last movements your body may need. Maybe you hug your knees to your chest again. Maybe you find happy baby. So whatever feels good for you, I invite you to find that before going into your final resting pose. And final resting pose can look like whatever you need it to look like today. You can lay on your back, corpse pose. You can lay on your stomach. You could do legs up the wall. So finding a final resting pose that works for you. And we're going to find that for about 5 minutes. And then I'll introduce my voice back into the space when it's time to move on with our practice or to close out our practice today. Wiggling your fingers and toes. Slowly bringing movement back into our bodies. Noticing your body resting on the mat beneath you. Noticing the room around you. And when you're ready, let's slowly find our way back to a comfortable seat. So moving slowly and letting your head be the last thing to come up. Taking your time. And once we find our seat, let's go ahead and inhale our arms up overhead. And exhale, drop our arms back down to our sides. Inhale, palms facing up, arms up overhead. Exhale, dropping our hands back down. And this time we'll inhale, palms facing up overhead, bring our palms to touch. And exhale, bring our thumbs to rest against our heart. Thank you all for showing up today and giving yourself this practice. Remember, this practice is timeless and you can revisit it anytime you need to. Take an inhale together and we'll exhale, forward fold any amount. Inhale back up and exhale, drop our hands back down. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. It's been a pleasure, like always. And please, if you found this practice useful, please like the video, share it, save it, do all the things. After I post it, feel free to comment. I can't have the comments on while it's live because people be in here talking crazy. But other than that, thank you all so much for joining me today. And make sure you check out my Yoga with Meesh playlist for more yoga with Meesh. And check out my farming and gardening playlist too, because I do a lot of other things. That's why I'm Pieces of Meesh. So this is just a piece of what I want to share with you all. So thank you all so much. And stay tuned for our next live practice. And I'm so sorry if there were ads during this. YouTube won't let me do anything about the ads yet. But thank you all so much for your patience. Bye.